In the quiet village of Umakachi, where men measured worth by the size of their farmlands and the number of goats in their compound, lived a man named Obina. At 34, he was the laughingstock of the village. They called him lazy. They called him cursed. They said he was useless. Obina had no farmland, no livestock, no savings, just a leaking hut and an old hunting bag. He had tried farming, but failed. Not because he didn't want to work hard, but because his body couldn't carry the weight of the hoe for long. His palms would bleed, his knees would give in. Even when he tried to hire help, no one would work for free, and he had no kobo to offer. So he started hunting small animals in the bush to survive. It wasn't enough, but it kept him from dying of hunger. Nobody wanted to be associated with him, except one person, Mama Nena, a kind elderly widow who would always give him food, not because she had plenty, but because she had empathy. Living with her was her 31-year-old granddaughter, Chimamanda, a beautiful, respectful, and intelligent young woman who helped her grandmother on the farm. Obina would often help Mama Nena carry firewood or fetch water just to show appreciation. Yet, deep down, he was a broken man, ashamed, rejected, and alone. He had no friends, no respect, and no one to love. He often cried alone in his hut, wondering if he'd ever find a wife before turning 35. All the young women in Umakachi mocked him. "You can't feed yourself, and you're looking for a wife? Who wan marry poverty? Tufi aqua." One night, while lying on his mat staring at the cracked roof of his hut, a thought dropped in his heart. What about Chimamanda? She was everything he wanted in a woman, beautiful, kind, hard-working, wise beyond her years, and she never looked down on him. How had he never thought of her? But what Obina had never told anyone was this: he was a prince. From the wealthy neighboring kingdom of Agurha, Obina was the crowned heir to the throne. His father, Ifeanyi, had instructed him to find a wife of pure heart before his 35th birthday or lose the crown. But Obina didn't want the prideful, flashy maidens in Agurha. So he disguised himself and moved to Umakachi to find a humble, virtuous wife. When he finally approached Chimamanda and confessed his feelings, she smiled shyly and said, "I like you too, Obina, I always have." The moment was magical. They both ran to tell Mama Nena. The old woman clapped her hands and said, "Chineke, this union is blessed. You both have pure hearts." A week later, Obina left for his kingdom. When he returned, he didn't come back alone. He came with royal guards, horses, drummers, and gifts. The villagers gathered confused. Then it was announced, Obina, the lazy hunter, was a prince. Gasps filled the air, mouths opened wide, people trembled. Girls who once mocked him were now tying their wrappers tighter, rushing to smile at him. But it was too late. Obina had chosen. He returned to Umakachi with his royal family and paid Chimamanda's bride price in full. The wedding was like a festival. Even the clouds came to watch. 2 months later, Obina was crowned king of Agurha, and Chimamanda, she became queen. As they stood on the royal platform, Obina spotted some of the girls from Umakachi hiding behind trees, crying, but he smiled, because he knew. A woman who loves you at your lowest deserves to reign with you at your highest.